right, hello, good evening. My name is Mark Fulcher, and we're going to do a little interactive testimony time. All right, so everybody hold up your right hand. Okay, it's okay, I'm a doctor. All right, so now I want you to keep a tight fist, okay, and try to raise your ring finger by keeping a tight fist. Try to raise it all the way up. Hold a tight fist with your other fingers. Can't do it, right? Now try that with your index finger. You can do it, all right? So I understand that. Now, try to do something pretty amazing. Put your your thumb fingernail, put it against your ring fingernail so that they're parallel with one another. Can y'all do that? Okay, now try that with your index finger against your ring fingernail. You can't do that, right? And that's called opposition. And the thumb opposes and the fingers cannot. The thumb is a beautiful thing. It's a genius design and divinely created. There's a lot else I could teach you about the hand. I'm actually very comfortable with that subject. I think about it and I talk about it and I look at it every day. I instruct medical students and residents and sometimes other orthopedic surgeons about the hand. Now, say someone asked me to help out in Sunday school. Just the thought of it makes me a little bit anxious. I'm not comfortable with teaching church stuff. I don't feel equipped. What would I say or what would I do? I may fail miserably. Several years ago, I was asked to help out with the children's ministry. My daughter was in the class, and I was anxious, but my daughter was in the class, and I knew she would like my teaching, or at least since she was my daughter, she would act like I did a good job. That was about 5 years ago, and I am still helping out with the classes, and some of those years have been without any of my kids in those classes. Now, here are 3 reasons why you need to volunteer for the children's ministry. So this is a recruitment process, okay? So these are 3 reasons. All right, first, you will be encouraged. How many of y'all need encouragement? Everybody raises their hand. We all do. Then you need to sign up. These young hearts and minds are a blessing. They have vigor and enthusiasm, and it is contagious. It'll wake you up from a Sunday morning stupor. They are eager to learn and soak it up like a sponge. I'm always impressed at the capacity they have to memorize. You will emerge from the class with a smile on your face, knowing that the up-and-coming generation of believers is on track. The Holy Spirit is alive and well in the hearts of these young girls and boys, and you will be encouraged. Number 2, you will be weary. Yes, these kids will make you weary. After a Sunday morning of volunteering for the children's ministry, I am tired. This is always the time that I appreciate real teachers the most. I am in awe of our elementary school educators who can spend an entire day with these kids. And for me, it's just 30 minutes. They will come at you from every angle. They are like Labrador puppies. They just don't wear out. And I leave church with the words of Pastor George in my head, finish strong, finish strong. Thankfully, it's Sunday and a nap awaits. Number 3, you will learn something. How many of y'all have taken a kid to a movie? Maybe the Toy Story or Shrek, that was in my generation of youngsters. And you only go hoping that the kid will be entertained and enjoy the show. And yet you find yourself laughing out loud or crying and wondering whether something is wrong with you. Then you realize that the movie was written for not only your kids, but also for you. Volunteering for the children's ministry is just like this. God's plan of redemption was written for everyone. All ages will learn something when the gospel is taught. A few years back, Jessica Tatro had chosen a story to read to the preschool class around Thanksgiving time. It was one of my first years being involved in this ministry. It was a story about a Native American named Squanto and the first Thanksgiving. While I was reading the story aloud to 4- and 5-year-olds, my heart was changed. My 45-year-old heart was changed. I was melted by God's providence displayed through that incredible story. Maybe I'd heard it before, I'm not sure, but this time I was changed and I did not expect that to happen. I could not get that story out of my mind. I actually went home and I purchased books and I learned more about that story of Squanto. It was amazing, and my kids will be embarrassed, but I'd be happy to tell you about that story more if you pull me aside. And now that's a regular day, a regular part of our Thanksgiving Day celebration, unless it's a discussion on that day. So yes, God will minister to your hearts in incredible ways through the instructing of these hearts and minds. Well, you may not be a hand surgeon, so teaching hand anatomy and function will not be second nature. But you may be an engineer, or you may be a school teacher, or a fashion consultant, or a financial consultant, or a student, or an accomplished outdoorsman, or a mechanic or a mom and dad or a grandmother or grandfather, I would just about bet that you have experience in something and you are good at something. There is some area that you have enough hands-on knowledge to instruct somebody. This may be at your job or at your hobby or as a parent or grandparent. I am a hand surgeon, and talking about the hand doesn't make me anxious. I am not a Sunday school teacher, so when asked to volunteer for the children's ministry, I was anxious. But I am a Christian. And as a Christian, we are given the Holy Spirit. He dwells within us and is able to instruct. So be confident that God can use you. He can take your skills of instruction that you use elsewhere in your life and convert this into His purpose for the instructing of young hearts and minds. Last summer, Jessica invited the incoming children's ministry volunteers to a Saturday morning of talks for the upcoming year. Great information was exchanged that day, but the single thing I took away was this one sentence. The most important thing you can do in your time with children is to show them the love of Christ. As a Christian, I can do that. Here is a famous quote from a person, I don't know if she's a believer or not, Maya Angelou, who said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Join the children's ministry team, and God will make good use of you. Thank you.